Welcome back, number 5 of 10. We halfway there. I hope you learned a lot. Today, how trust inventory documentation prevents exposure. Express trust is the same as a private trust. Trusts are not reserved for the wealthy. They are for anyone who wants structure and privacy. If you cannot account for what the trust holds, you do not control it. And if you do not control it, you cannot protect it or preserve it. In this video, I'm going to explain why inventory documentation inside a private trust is not optional. It is foundational. We will clarify who is responsible for oversight, why valuable property must be formally identified, how this trains beneficiaries, and how inventory changes when a trust operates as a business trust. Stay with me, because misunderstanding this one principle quietly weakens most trust structures. And if you value lawful privacy, keep watching this video and the rest of this series, and I will show you all that you need to know to get started today. There is a common misunderstanding. Many people believe that once assets are conveyed into a trust, the job is done. They think the documents alone protect the property. That belief is incorrect. Holding that belief quietly creates exposure most families never intended. A trust is administration. Here is what happens when there is a failure to properly document trust property. Trustees rely on memory. If you're a normal person like me, you know not to rely on memory. And most trustees are normal people, and they also need not rely on their memory of what's in trust, no matter where it came from. Property locations become unclear. There is nothing worse than missing an opportunity to increase trust corpus or fulfill the trust intention because trustees fail to keep proper inventory. Beneficiaries do not understand the estate, especially first-generation beneficiaries excited about receiving a distribution from the trust. Best to believe a mature beneficiary will ask questions to ensure inventory materializes into some money and administrative authority weakens over time. If the board of trustees are not respected or earn a reputation of incompetence, it will be difficult to convince investors the trust is a solid opportunity to increase their revenue or decrease their tax liabilities. Good thing none of these misunderstandings collapse a trust overnight. It takes time, but it will eventually die. The goal of this lesson is simple: to understand why inventory documentation is a core administrative duty inside a common law trust, and how proper oversight preserves structure without ownership. We are not talking about registration. We are not talking about state filings. We are talking about private contract administration under common law principles. A private express trust exists by contract, not by statute. Statutory systems rely on reporting and public compliance structures. A common law trust relies on internal administration and documented intention. If a statutory entity fails to maintain records, regulators intervene. If a private trust fails to maintain records, administration collapses from within. That is the difference. Some families think documentation only matters when assets are large. That is not true. For example, here are obvious examples of large, tangible items that should be tagged, photographed, and described formally in the trust inventory. Valuable paintings, rare collectibles, real estate, and valuable equipment. Here are some intangibles: patents, copyright, trade secrets. Now, when we talking about patents, copyrights, and trade secrets, think things like Disney, Kleenex, songs like Jingle Bells, Humpty Dumpty. Intangibles you cannot put a dollar sign on. So look in your family. Look at the people around you. You have someone clever always singing to themselves, putting words together. Might want to look at them a little different. They could be expressing a cash cow, and all you need to do is put it in black and white. And who knows in the future what that intangible could bring to your family. All of these things require proper documentation. No worries if you do not currently own anything in this example, or you don't feel like there's anyone talented around you. These are only a fraction of the things that can be and should be put into a trust. There's a whole video scheduled for what can be placed into a trust. So be sure to click all on the notification bell so YouTube won't decide when and how you get to see that video. At least one member of the board of trustees must know the location of any such item at all times. Why? Because trustees hold legal title. They are fiduciaries, and fiduciaries must know what they are administering. The size of the trust does not create protection. Proper identification does. The possibilities should be swirling around in your head right now. If they are not, but you know you want to live privately and pass on more than money to people you care about, then you're in the right place. Do you want to lawfully keep what's yours? You can. Whatever you own can outlive you when you pick up what I'm putting down. Let's slow this down just a little bit, but not really. In a properly structured trust, the trustee holds legal title. The beneficiaries hold equitable interest. The grantor or exchanger conveys property by intention and by contract. If a trustee cannot account for property in trust, then legal title becomes weak in practice. Documentation strengthens the trustee's position. Memory weakens it. This is why order replaces assumption. Documentation replaces memory. Inventory oversight belongs to administrative staff under trustee direction. The trust must maintain an asset ledger, supporting documentation, bill of sales where appropriate, updated schedules reflecting additions or removals, location records for high-value property. Now, real quick, I have 3 criteria to help answer your question about what can and cannot go into trust. So ask yourself these 3 things. 1, does it have intrinsic value? 2, does it create cash flow? And 3, do my beneficiaries want to use it? Of course, larger, high-value assets are often simpler to document than numerous small personal items. But if you're watching this and thinking, I never created a formal inventory, then you now understand where to strengthen the structure. Practical training for beneficiaries. There is another layer here most people overlook. Inventory administration is a training opportunity. When beneficiaries observe how assets are cataloged, how value is preserved, how records are maintained, they learn how administration works in real time. This prepares the next generation. A trust is not only asset separation, it is an institutional memory for the family. Now, this warms my heart, me being an only child and all, and not having a lot of baby pictures. So a little backstory on me is I grew up single parent, no brothers, no sisters. My mom worked. When I was young, she worked at night. As I got older, then, hours changed. But she was a nurse, so she was always gone a lot. And I was left by myself a lot. And I'm not mad about that. I'm not trying to throw my mom under the bus. I love her dearly. But I was left a lot. I was left home by myself a lot. I was able to come in and out. I had the key around my neck after school, put the key in, come in the house, do my homework, and I was able to do things on my own. So I learned a lot, took things apart, put things back together. I was always interested in how things work, which is probably why I dove head first into trust. We'll get into that on this channel. We're going to talk about legal stuff. We're going to talk about taxes. We're going to talk about structuring business trusts, putting an existing business or entity into a trust, management. Imagine looking forward to all the videos teaching you how to set up and manage your assets in a private trust, strategically managed by a trustee for the benefit of your beneficiaries, and you're not subscribed. Do you have commitment issues, dog? Subscribe. It's free to subscribe and hit the notification bell so YouTube cannot decide when and how you see the next video. It's free. So what's the resolution? A properly administered trust knows what it holds, knows where it is located, knows how it was conveyed, knows whether it is an asset or operational inventory, maintain records beyond memory, order replaces assumption, and structure maintains privacy. If you're building a trust for your family, this may feel simple, but simple does not mean optional. You are not building something for today only. You are building something that must function when you are not present. That requires administration, not just enthusiasm. And since you made it this far, I applaud you. You are a GOAT. I suggest that you watch this video next. I always say that it's dated because I took a small hiatus, but the information is still the same. Thanks for watching. The next lesson is number 6, financial management. I had a comment about accounting. We're going to touch on accounting in episode 6. So I'll see you over there. Peace.